Okay, sorry for getting a little bit behind in terms of getting these new videos up, but I was waffling on how I was going to proceed from here, and I'm going to go step by step. Think about how you first learned to walk. One right foot, left foot, right, one after another. Well, we're going to follow that sort of a pattern here. Last week we started on Web API. Now we're going to actually switch gears for a little bit this week and look at we'll start with Universal Windows Platform Application Development, then we'll go back to Web API and back to client development and back to Web API and so on, right? So we're going to go back and forth here. In terms of Web UWP, well, you've been using it already, right? You've done quite a bit of work with it in your object-oriented programming course and a bit last term as well. So I don't want to go over everything. It'll be a real quick review, but I decided to include, so my next few videos will be a quick review of the basics of working in UWP. A lot of it will be so basic, you'll say, I don't need this. I already know that, and that's fine. Feel free to skim through them very, very fast or even skip portions altogether. But I decided to include the materials because sometimes having a different instructor present even the same kind of information, you might pick up a couple little things that are new to you, right? So, and there's some students who've been away and they're coming back. They haven't done this for a little bit, so it doesn't hurt to have those review materials there. But our goal eventually, as I'm kind of showing here on the screen, is we're going to be doing multiple different types of clients for Web API. So this is your UWP example here. Notice we have the same type of interface that you would typically see in a one-to-many. We have our ability to filter for different types of art. We can bring up details on a given one, edit it, save it, cancel our changes, delete, whatever. And of course, we can create a new record, right? Choose the art type that we want. And, oh, I didn't fill it all out. So I get my list of all the problems coming back to let me know that I can't leave things blank and so on and so forth, right? And of course, we can also do the same thing in Android, right? So here's the exact same web API being presented in a different way, right? So we have the same functionality. Let me even repeat that same process here. If I pick something, click save. Yep, I'm not done. I've got to fill out all the rest of this data and so on and so forth. Of course, the user interface is going to be very different, right, for UWP and Android, but that's okay. We can work with all kinds of variations. In the end, we've got concurrency control here, so if I change the same record on both these devices, I'll get warned about that and so on and so forth. Right, so that's kind of an overview of the direction we're heading in, right? Okay, so as I said, first thing, the next couple videos, a review of UWP, then we'll do some couple of really simple UWP applications, and then we'll do a UWP example of a client working with a web API. Then we're going to jump back to web API itself and say, well, this is good so far, but what can we do to make it better? And the main thing we're going to be adding is, well, the kind of feedback I was just showing, right? That we actually have to, show error messages and get that communicated back to the client and so on and so forth. All right, so that's going to be the way we're going to process. So as I said, skim through the next few videos or take your time, just play them at a fast speed. But bear along with me as we do a quick review of Universal Windows Platform Application Development first.